Evening, people. How you doing? Actually, at this point, well, good morning. um, I am on my lowest level account here, and I wanted to show a fun hit that I did this afternoon. After which, I'm going to show the operation hit that I just did on this account because I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty darn sexy. And I haven't shown any hits from this account. Actually, I might not have shown any at all. I don't have instant reserves or instant training slash endless reserves, whatever you want to call it, on this account. So it makes it hard to show hits more often. But I was thinking when I started this channel, one of the things I wanted to do was to show mid-level strategies. And here was an attack that I did this afternoon. I used HC with Brick because that honestly is pure gold at the mid-level. I don't have Bullet yet. Bullet is somewhere off in the clouds over there. Radar level 19 needed. What do I have on this account? Radar 18, which I cannot upgrade because I don't have the HQ upgrade, blah blah blah, so I'm stuck with Brick and not Bullet. This would have been ideal with Bullet, but still worked with Brick. So this fella, let's see, I think I'm a 42, yeah, I think I'm 42 on this account, and this was a 48, and this was a corner base, and you do see a lot of these, and when I saw this one, I saw opportunity back here. So I've cleared myself a little bit of a walking lane, obviously, along the side wall of the base, and I've cleared myself a parking spot back here in the back end of the base over in the corner. And really, so all you have to do is get yourself in position back here. If you can get yourself to the back corner under smoke, all you have to do is flare out to a point. You need to flare to a point where your heavies are going to get separation from your zookas, and in this case that's going to be this mortar, because the zookas will stay back here in this parking spot and they'll be able to fire on the mortar, but the heavies will have to move forward because they won't have the range to get to it, and the heavies will then form a wall. And that's basically it. The hit was done at that point. I think I ended up flaring to the HQ, but to be honest, it didn't matter at that point. I could have just let my heavies sit there and be shot at, and I could have let my zookas shoot at whatever they liked. They'd have cleared a few more buildings, and eventually they would have put their focus over onto the HQ, but I wanted to speed things up a tiny bit. So midway flare there. Check the range on that. Yeah, it was a little bit early on the smoke there, but midway flare, because I don't think I have max level flares on this account, so they do tend to run out. You can see I dropped the heavies a little bit later, but they're starting to catch up, and I get to this point and I want the heavies to keep moving because there are still some mines. I was worried about the path they were going to take, so didn't let everybody stop at that midway flare. Instead just flared them along and kept them moving. So there's the flare out to the mortar. And watch where this is just perfect. With Bullet, this is even better, because then Bullet gives you the health of a Scorcher, plus, depending on the ability you use, usually Taunt. He can draw extra attention, and if you're using Taunt, then he can reduce the damage that he's taking, so he can stand out there even longer. He can stand out there for, well, with the whole base shooting at him, he can stand out there nearly forever, getting shot at and absorbing blows, just giving your zookas time to work. But the mortar obviously drops very quickly, but then at that point the zookas start shooting at things around them. And oh, actually, yeah, I did flare to the HQ there, but it was pretty late. The health was already down to about 20%, and it was dead anyway. So that's a nice HQ wrap technique, which I didn't check the losses on that, but it worked beautifully there, and that's a fun thing to do with corner bases. So that's that. It's a pretty cool thing, and I haven't done one of those mid-level attack strategies in a long time. So, you know, when I started this channel, that was one of the reasons I did start it, because, well, one of the two really. First reason being, I don't think I'm a great player, but I think I've learned a lot, and I would love to help pass any of that along to make things easier for the next person. Because, I mean, I realized how badly I was lacking, and I had to figure stuff out, and I realized I had to figure a lot of stuff out. If I can shorten that process for anybody, that's a great thing. And these mid-level hits in particular, I had a goal, which I've been lacking on, but I had a goal to try to show people how to prosper at the mid-level. This is, again, with this account I don't have the instant training / endless reserve, so it makes it harder for me to go out and clear map and stuff like that. But on my slightly higher level account, which I believe is a 52, I do have that. And honestly, every couple of days, 2-3 days, I let player bases build up on my map, and I boost up for an operation hit, and I do the operation hit, and then I go just destroy my map. And I have a resource reward out, and I have all the resources I ever need, and I get whatever upgrade I am looking for that easily. It really is not hard. That's a 52, like I said, and it's generally, most of my matchups are 60, 65 level players. It doesn't matter if you know what you're doing, and if you've got a good boost on like that anyway, you just go out and destroy everybody, and it's an easy day. And so yesterday morning, yesterday afternoon, just a banner day with that account. Boosted up for one operation hit, was planning on a double dip strategy, so boosted for the one, went out, there's the dog. Actually, it was the other dog this time. Normally it's Peanut. That was not Peanut. It's late. Peanut's old. Peanut's in bed. He has been for a couple hours. Anyway, yeah, so double dipped on operations, boosted for one hit, went, cleared the whole map, and then went and did another hit. So I actually had 2 boats upgrading at the same time on that account, because I had so many resources from the map clear that I did. It should not be hard for you, and these are the techniques. Use warrior and heavy zooka, and you can destroy people at this level, because there's just so many bad base designs. Anyway, so I kind of want to get back to doing more of those mid-level hits, but in the meantime, so this was cool, mainly not because it's super hard base or anything like that, but we didn't have much intel today, so we started ticker tape instead of tank tango, which we normally do. And as it happens, scrap was the hefty base, 92 force points as opposed to 75 and 58, and I managed to take it out. I put my name on it in the base note, and no losses. That made me pretty happy. No zookas, no heavies, no, not even brick. Again, not a terribly hard base, and it was made even easier by the fact that there's a bunch of free GBE to be had down here. That was annoying. Went to clear those mines out front, was trying to save some GBE. Could have just used a barrage, but I thought I'd be clever and use artillery, and I missed one. So then I had to use a third artillery, and didn't end up saving myself any GBE at all. And so that was a waste, but didn't end up mattering, because, I mean, look at all this. If I'd really needed more, didn't, but if I'd really needed more, I could have come over here and grabbed some more out there too. Didn't want to, though. Wasn't the point. Wasn't necessary. Felt like I had plenty here. We need like maybe 5 smokes tops on this. Get everybody landed, get everybody going, and we're gonna have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I want to say, yeah. And then 2 shocks. Get myself in position, get a nice straight line on that flare. wrapping around a corner, so that straightens the zookas out, makes it pretty easy to smoke. Actually a little conservative on these smokes, but it would have been the same amount of smoke no matter what, I believe. Yeah, well, anyway, so waited as long as I could on the shocks because I wanted to get as much time as possible, get the heavies out front. There's that separation I was talking about. Actually, I was thinking about it recently, and if you think about this, you could picture a smoke, and if you imagine a smoke right here, your heavies would be standing at one tip of the smoke, so they would be on the left side of the smoke. The zookas would be standing at the back. Actually, heavy zooka is a beautiful combination. Everything in this game is designed in a certain way. So like you can fit all 8 boats under 2 smokes if you're very careful with it. You can fit all of your warriors under 1 smoke around an HQ if you're careful with it, but if you're off by a tile or 2, some of them are going to peek. That's all by design, and in this case, a heavy zooka formation is designed to fit under 1 single smoke. So 1 smoke right in the middle of this formation, the heavies would be standing on the front side of it, the zookas would be standing to the back side of it, and they could all be covered here. So when you're like standing next to an HQ or something, if you imagine that smoke, the midpoint of the smoke would be between these 2 lines of troop types, and with the heavies getting the separation like that, they don't catch any, or they take all of the rocket fire and none of it ends up back on the zookas. There you go. Actually, you can see it. That was the celebratory GBE there, but you can see where the heavies are touching one side of the smoke and the zookas are touching the other side of the smoke, and just about everybody is covered there. A few of the zookas have strayed because of their spread, but anyway, that was fun, and it was even more fun because of no losses, because it's always cheaper to solo, as I don't think people get the humor in that joke, but anyway, whatever. So yeah, that's what I've got for you tonight. Anytime you're wrapping an HQ, that's a pretty cool thing. When I get bullet, I will probably try to do some more of that, but in the meantime, yeah, that's it. Have a good night? Morning? Yeah, morning. Well, have a good day.